Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got an excellent show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, this story is like a toilet that just won't flush, man. It's not over. It's just not over. People are still reacting to the altercation that took place at the Lakers game between Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James. Some of the people that recently reacted to it were Dwayne Wade and Carmelo Anthony on the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast with Carmelo Anthony. I think they gave some honest insight into what took place. Carmelo Anthony said some pretty insightful things that I did not think of. He just essentially said that this is something that's been boiling up for a very long time, and finally it reached its boiling point. And LeBron James reacted to it, and Bronny was just kind of the trigger that set him off, right? I'd never considered it from that vantage point. We had also reported on our channel that some NBA players had decided that they were no longer going to communicate with Stephen A. Smith because of what he said on the ESPN First Take about LeBron. Essentially, just a quick refresher, you guys remember when Stephen A. Smith went up there and read those stats after the Lakers played against the Philadelphia 76ers, and he essentially pleaded with LeBron James to, why are you putting Bronny in this situation? Why are you putting him in this situation? He's failing. He's pleading with him as a father and blah, 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 blah. Apparently, that's the stuff that really set off a lot of people. So Draymond Green ended up doing a show on his podcast with himself featuring Baron Davis. And Draymond Green decided to react to what Stephen A. Smith had to say. And he took it to a place that I absolutely couldn't believe. And he brutally went at Stephen A. Smith. Like, he went at him directly to the point where I was like, damn, son is not playing right now. But before we even get into what Draymond had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60-plus states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I'm very interested in this NBA game between the Celtics and the Knicks. Here's what I like to do. I turn on all-in pricing so I know exactly what I'm paying for up front. I check Game Time Picks to find out the most valuable deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what I want to do now is I'm going to play exactly what Draymond Green had to say in response to Stephen A. Smith's comments on ESPN First Take towards LeBron James. And I'm going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what Draymond had to say here.
To call something that man did weak, like those are words like where we grew up.
Yeah.
Like you get hands put on you where we grew up and those types of words. So I think the problem that people have with media is you go on there and you like, oh, that's weak. Like weak, like calling another man weak, like that's not basketball, which is actually what Brian was saying in the first place. Like, let's keep it basketball, because calling a man weak, that's not basketball. And you're paid to talk about basketball. You call Brian weak for stepping to you, but you're taking shots at him as a father on TV behind a camera. Most would say that's weak. And I know he'll say, I'm paid to do that. No, you're paid to analyze. You're paid to debate on the show.
You really pay.
As soon as I said it, I hadn't talked to Brian at all about this. As soon as I saw him say it, Bob was up here that day. And Bob was like, oh yeah, I work with Stephen A tomorrow. I'm in got y'all game tonight. I'm in the studio tomorrow, something Stephen A and I think Malika And I was like, oh, you make sure you tell Stephen A that I have zero respect for what he said yesterday. You go on TV, national TV, calling out this African-American, this black father who's raised another successful black young man. And you go on TV calling him out as a father because his son played in the NBA? That's ass backwards. You are on national TV condemning a black man as a father because his son is playing in the NBA. Like, how does that even make sense? And I told Bob that. I said, you should tell him. Like, tell him. Like, I can't respect that. Like, if you want to talk about him as a basketball player, talk about him as a basketball player. If you want to talk about Bronny as a basketball player,
as a basketball
go
player.
ahead. He an NBA player. Talk about him all you want. Although I think it's pretty whack that y'all find time to talk about the 55th draft pick. The only picks I can name right off the top of my mind that was 55th pick or lower was Manu Ginobili and Isaiah Thomas. You can't even name a 55th draft pick.
But they didn't get no steam until they start killing.
To see him just going at this man as a father. This man said, LeBron, you need to stop. As a father, you need to stop. What? Huh? And then you throw out the excuse like, well, he the one said that Bronny is better than NBA players. You name me what parent don't think their kid is better than everybody. Like, that is a common thing for parents that's in sports. We all think our kid is better than what they are. That is the nature of the beast. My mama thought I was better than what I was. That is the nature of a parent in sports. But to go on TV and say, you need to stop it as a father, then go and he stepped to you about that and then say it's weak on TV. Because the demeanor in person was like, that was demeanor in person. Yeah. But then on TV, you go, oh, that was bull weak. Like, come on, man. So that's why he said Draymond ain't talking to me.
He was gonna fix his suit.
Yeah, like that's why he said Draymond ain't talking to me. And it's not that, I don't have much to say to that. Like, also reach out to that man and talk to him after somebody say something to you because you know you're wrong. So reach out to that man and talk to you, but he didn't. You didn't reach out and talk to him. That's weak. That's what we call weak. Where I'm from, the guys that I was raised by, the men that had an impact on my life, that's what we call weak.
So you heard what Draymond Green had to say. What are my thoughts about this? Okay. I had to Google where Draymond Green is from, right? And Draymond Green, I believe he's from, let me just see. Draymond is from Saginaw, Michigan. Okay. And it seemed to be a pretty rough area because what I was trying to understand was what was causing Draymond to react the way that he was reacting towards Stephen A. Smith's commentary, where he said, you say where I'm from, you say this, somebody will put their hands on you and this and this and this. So I tried to really understand where is he coming from? And based off of me assessing the situation, looking at Draymond's background, looking at who Draymond is from afar, I'm assuming Draymond is saying if you say to a person, in this case a father, you're not doing a good job as a father raising your son, then those are fighting words. Okay? So I understand that somebody will get hands put on them. So I get that. I kind of understood it. I had to kind of do a background check on Draymond to kind of see because I was like, where's he coming from with this? So you got that aspect of it. You got the aspect of when Draymond said the cowardly thing was to say what he said on television instead of reaching directly to LeBron James to say what he said to him. Now, there's a pretty interesting wrinkle in this, which was Nick Wright basically alluded to it, and we did a show reacting to it about less than a week ago or so, where Nick Wright said that LeBron James has refused to communicate with Stephen A. Smith over the last 10 years. That's at least what he said. But then I've seen some games where LeBron has kind of come up to Stephen A. Smith, but then Stephen A. Smith has alluded to the fact that him and LeBron don't have a relationship. But then he did say that he has a relationship with people like Rich Paul and people in his inner circle. So you have that aspect of it. But I'm still confused by this entire situation, to be quite frank with you. And I want to be honest with you guys. I'm confused because there's so many moving parts to this story. First of all, you have the fact that LeBron did approach Stephen A. Smith in person. I think we're having a different conversation if Stephen A. Smith reacted differently. That's the thing. If Stephen A. Smith reacted differently than the way that he did, for example, if LeBron walked up to him and was saying whatever he said, and he was like, "What's up? What is it?" And it was like, man, get on my face. Like, as LeBron is, so man, get on my face with that. Blah, blah, blah. We would probably be reacting to the situation differently. But Stephen A. Smith capitulated so much to the point when he came on TV, he looked so like distraught over the situation. I think it gave room for people in Draymond to be like, you see, you was scared, because Draymond was saying it. When he walked up to you, it was like a lot of head nod, a lot of head nod, a lot of head nod. Now, I think it's also important to say you don't get no points for running up on a dude that's almost 60 years old. You're what, 6'8"? The guy's what, 6'2". You're clearly more physically imposing than he is, and somebody's supposed to be giving you brownie points. Don't nobody give you no credit for that. So to keep it funky, I know Draymond said he's from you mean like he said, but I know where he's from. Ain't nobody giving you no points for that. Like nobody's giving you points for picking on smaller people. So you don't get any credit for that neither. So that ain't nothing to be like, oh yeah, you were shook, son. He's 60 years old. B. Run up on Isaiah Stewart like that, then we'll understand if you really about it. So ain't nobody gonna give you no credit for that. Run up on a dude that if you run up on him, he's gonna reciprocate that energy and reciprocate it in a worse way. Don't pick and choose and run up on Stephen A. Smith and then Draymond will be like, oh, son, you look scared. Nah, run up on... DMX says something pretty interesting on an interview he had with Tim Westwood. Shout out to Tim Westwood. I met Tim Westwood. I actually got on my phone. He'd be sending different parties, thing, but I don't be going to them. I met him in Lagos. But anyway, DMX said, a gangster dude can spot somebody that's not gangster. I'm just kind of like clean it up for y'all. A mile away, walk upon him, like, yo, what's up, son? Tap his pocket, like, what's up? What's you? And carry him just like that, right? Like, run his pockets or whatever. But a gangster dude, for him to go try another dude that's gangster or tough, he already know, like, if I go try him, he not gonna go for it, and it's gonna be a stressful situation, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I'm gonna think twice before I do that. I'm saying all that to say, you saying Stephen A. Smith was scared, like, son, stop. Dude is 6'8". He's a NBA player. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, come on. Like, what do you like? Come on. If LeBron wanted to put his goon down on somebody, Isaiah Stewart is right there. Go put your goon down on him, and then we'll be like, yo, son is about. He's about it. So I didn't like that part. My final thoughts about this is this whole part about putting hands on people and all. Like, yo, we gotta stop with this. Like, seriously, we gotta stop with this. We are not gangsters here. We're not we're not gonna do half of the stuff that we say. Putting hands on you and doing all that. We're not like, what's this thing of trying to act like we're tougher than we really are? Like, what is the thing about it? When we all know in reality, everybody's trying to have a nice day. Everybody's trying to go about their day in a peaceful way. Ain't nobody up here thinking about running up on somebody. We're gonna put hands. None of these dudes are doing it. Let's be for real. Let's stop with this tough guy act. Let's all stop with it. There are guys that are actually tough, and they don't go around hollering about it. They just are, number one. Number two, don't you know that when you go around carrying yourself with that energy, like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, that's what be attracting them dudes to you. That's what be attracting them, because they're looking at you. They won't even be thinking. You're not even on their radar. Then they're like, oh, okay, you think you, okay, I'm going to test you. I'm going to test you. I never professed to be a gangster. I'm not no thugged out, whatever. I'm not no G run. I'm not. I'm a normal guy. I'll defend myself if I have to, but I'm not a gangster and all this. So what's up with all of this tough dog? Are we gonna put? That's the same thing with Kendrick Perkins and Charles Barkley. Oh, we gonna run up on him and he want to smoke. What are we talking about? Are y'all gonna fight? You gonna fight? First of all, you guys are multimillionaires. Why is fighting even coming across your brain? Number one, Number two, you guys are highly paid athletes and highly paid media personalities. You guys don't even roll around in spaces where you would need to do that. It's not like as if you're a little boozy or one of these dudes. You have a certain type of music, you're going to certain type of areas, you have certain type of issues with people, and therefore you need to be on point and have that kind of, we're not doing, you guys we play sports and talk about sports. What's all of this stuff about, oh, we're going to do this? We're not going to do nothing. We're not doing nothing. Let's stop the tough guy act. There's too much of that going on. Everybody trying to be tough. Everybody's tough. Everybody's a G. Everybody going to run down on somebody. When in reality, we're not. Like, let's stop with this nonsense of the tough guy talk. Stephen A. Smith is not a gangster. Draymond Green is not a gangster. Half of these dudes you see are not gangsters. They're not. You can't be a gangster, but then you play back like you're not. Let's stop with this tough guy talk. Everybody's always trying to prove that they're tough. And then you end up putting yourself in a situation where you got to back up all of that tough talk and then get your ass boomed on. And that's the end of the day. Why put yourself in that situation? Don't nobody be running around talking about, yo, I'm tough. Come on, ain't nobody doing that. I don't get what's this need to prove like we're tough. And nobody, come on. They're tough guys. And they don't spend half of the time trying to convince you that they're tough. They're not busy with that. You've been around tough guys before. They don't spend all this energy the way most guys that are not tough doing it. I gave this story before, and I'm going to give it to you guys real quick. I was in a gym. I used to go to a gym in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Port Harcourt, Nigeria. You can just Google it. And Port Harcourt is a pretty rough place, right? It's a nice place, but it's a very rough place. And because that's where they got the oil and all of this stuff. And they got some really badass dudes that live like these guys that steal oil, these oil bunkers, and all of these guys that, very bad, wicked, like. So there was a gym I used to go to. And it was this dude that used to come to the gym. And my pops told me, like, yo, this place is very dangerous. The area I'm talking about. So if you want to you don't see people riding around with flashy cars and all that. That's how you get kidnapped and all of that stuff. So there was this guy that used to come to the gym. I forgot his name. And I think it was also a House of Rep member. Crazy stuff. This guy used to come to the gym. This dude, not so big. I mean, he's like maybe 6'3" or whatever, 6'2", whatever. Muscles popping out of his nose. And he used to come to the gym with armed policemen. This guy would come to the gym in a Bentley, some other cars. And I would see the guy pull up in the gym. And I'm saying to myself, I thought they said this place is very dangerous. If this place is very dangerous, even the rich guys rolling around in Toyota Corollas and all of this stuff trying to hide themselves because they didn't want to draw attention to themselves. How is this dude running around here in Bentleys and Porsches? And I was like, I'm confused. I was like, I thought this place was dangerous. And I would look at this guy. And one day he was sitting outside the gym. He had on his headphones. And he was sitting like on a ledge, right? And he's a guy with money. And I walked past him as I'm walking towards him to go into the gym. This big ass MFer was sitting there singing a Whitney Houston song aloud, like, and I looked at him. I said, this dude is not normal. You can't be that damn big singing a Whitney Houston song like that. I walked in the gym. I went to the manager, who's a woman, and I said to her, I said, this dude, what's up with this dude? This guy that I always see coming with these mobile police. And she said, stay away from him. I said, really? She said, stay away from him. She said, he's very dangerous. I said, really? She said, that guy is KIL. So many people in this town. A lot of the politicians are afraid of him. A lot of them. As a matter of fact, I don't even discuss much with him. Right? As I'm leaving, I go outside and I see him talking to one of his security. These are guys holding assault rifles. He's saying something to him. He gets pissed off and smacks his security. Okay? He smacks his own security. The big ass dude holding an assault rifle, he smacks the living hell out of him. Then they get in the car and then they drive off. And I say all that to say, at no point in time did that guy walk around talking about he tough and doing all of this and doing all of that. We're going to put hands on you and da-da-da-da. He just went about his way. Do you know why? Because when you're that dangerous and you got that much dirt on you, you don't go around talking and bringing attention to yourself. Let's stop all of this tough nonsense talk. This is the problem. Draymond is talking like he gonna run up on Stephen A. Smith and snuff him. No, you not. No, you not. I don't get what's all of this thing of us trying to prove that we're not that tough. I don't get, this is how people get smoked every single day. There are some tough guys watching this show right now, watching this and saying, this guy knows what he's talking about. There are some tough guys watching this right now and says, this guy knows what he's talking about. That's why I don't pretend to be that. Let's stop with all of this. We could put hands on you and stop. I just wanted to say that. This ain't no diss to Draymond or nothing like that, but let's stop. Like, you play basketball, son. You play ball. This dude talks about sports. Where in all of that are you living this life that you're professing to be in this? Like, come on, stop. For you to be that and be it on a consistent basis, you need to be in that environment. You need to be having those type of situations occur regularly to keep it in you. What are we talking about? So I just don't understand why it gets to that level so quickly. We're going to put hands on you. We're going to do this. No, you're not. Like, stop. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We'll catch you on the next show and I'm out. Peace.